Hello guys, how we doing? Phil Ken here and continue my own OLSP 50-day challenge. And if you've done what I'm doing, I started my own 50-day challenge, and it's something that I recommend that people do because it gives you a sense of consistency, gives you a sense of accountability, and definitely helps the Facebook algorithm and things like that. So we are currently now on day 42. There's a lot of people thought that I might not make the entire 50, but I haven't not completed a challenge yet that I've started. I've done, the biggest I did was a few years ago. I actually set myself a 100-day challenge and I managed to do all of that. So 42 days out of 50 is what I'm up to now. We've been covering all sorts of topics and tutorials and anything that comes up. I normally give myself a title and or a subject that I'm going to talk about. Quite often we end up talking about something else. It depends how it goes. I've had various guests on, as you see, and well, sometimes I've done them on my own. It doesn't really matter. It's just a case of doing it, keeping the Facebook algorithm happy. It does help you when you're doing these things, and it definitely helps to brand yourself. That's what it's all about, because this day and age, people are skeptical. They're a bit wary of joining people and joining programs. So the more you can brand yourself, the more you can get yourself out there, so people get to put a face to the name. It's known what's building the know, like, and trust factor, and that's massive in this industry. I can assure you of that. So that's the sort of bit of a preamble out the way. Oh, I've just got a message just this second come through from Ills, and Mandy's going to be here too. Okie dokie. 1 second, guys. I'm just reading my messages because Ills says, I know she's been on another live that I couldn't make it today. There you go, Ills. It is done. And I don't think I've got Matt on here. So you're welcome to throw that over to him. So I'm just going to sort of talk a while Ilse comes on. As you know, Ilse has been with me. I know where she's been. She's been up to somewhere else. And who else have we got? There we go. Ilse has just asked the link. And we've got another guest coming as well, Matt, which is pretty good. Anybody wants to jump on, like I said, I can get a link on. I can put up a few people on. The more the merrier. As I say, yesterday, if you're watching, I had one of Ilse's great team players. I had Leah on, and she was awesome. She was great to join us all the way from Canada. It was actually dark early morning where she was, and we actually see it getting lighter as she was coming up. So, and we were there talking about our lovely Ilse at one point. I think her ears were burning yesterday because me and Ia were talking about. About yesterday. Yeah, we were talking about both your names because although we didn't reveal the hidden second name that you have.
I have a guest who's coming with us. He's turned VIP recently.
Who has, Matt? Matt's gone VIP. Has he really? Because he wasn't even Dominator. Last time he joined, the last Dominator call that he was on, he wasn't even a Dominator anymore. You know. But let's bring Maddie in.
Yeah.
How we doing, Maddie?
Hello.
Here we go.
Hey, Phil. Hey, Else.
Yeah,
how we doing?
This is now 2 you've joined. Look, from the man that didn't want to get on video, he's now doing number 2. I hear you're going VIP.
No.
Oh, you're not?
No. No, I'm not going VIP. I've already gone VIP.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah, I did.
What a massive well, congratulations, man. What a massive change, because the last Dominator call that I was on, which was 2 weeks ago, you weren't even a Dominator. I remember you saying that you've had to downgrade. So
yeah, yeah, it's been pretty difficult, but yeah, no, look, I think it's the right direction that I need to be moving in. So securing my future and my family's future. So that's what's important.
It's very important indeed. So that's great news, Matt. I'm really pleased for you. Yeah, and
thank you.
You're going to get a ton of resources. You've got an outstanding one sitting here with Ilse, and
100%.
She's going to be. Yeah, she's a good player. She's a good helper, and we're all in it together. Wonderful. So we can everybody can help each other, and that's what it's all about. So. Which is pretty good. So we are on day 42. I was just saying, it was, how it goes. No, day 42. I've not missed a day yet either. Look at that, So it is pretty good. The title for today, I was going to chat about animated banners with Canva. I'll get onto that in a little while. But hey, Matty, tell us about because yours is quite a good story for people to listen to, because I know that you came in with Jesse, I believe.
Yes, sir.
And I think what you've just touched on there is securing your future, because it's quite relevant in a way that I know the last call that we were on, you'd had to sort of not be a dominator anymore, which is a downgrade in effect. But
Yes.
what a fantastic turnaround for the better. And you actually said, you know what, I'm going to go all in to VIP. So maybe you can sort of explain your reasons for doing that, because I think
why I did that. Sure.
I think it'd be great for people to listen, because you've literally gone from going down to taking a huge leap forward for the better. So I think if you can explain to people why you did that, it's going to be quite inspiring to hear.
Sure, absolutely. So, as you remember from the last time I was on one of these with you guys, I had tried a couple of different, Wayne likes to call them shiny objects, different systems. Ilse knows of one that I was with, and it kind of went really, really pear-shaped really, really quickly. And there was another one that, it was one of those pay $7 to join. We'll give you the training for $7, and then you go through each day by day. I'm getting really into it, getting really worked up, and then they were like, awesome, now on day 7 you pay us $2,500 or you can't continue. And it was just,
let me know what program it is.
yeah,
we know what
let me just say, it was nowhere near what it promised in its name. I'm not going to mention the program, but it was an absolute rip-off. So, that kind of really, really made me disheartened with the whole thing. And I'm back to work. Okay, so let me backtrack. So the reason that I began doing all this was I ended up with a hip injury. And I was pulling ridiculous hours. I was averaging between 70 and 80 hours a week, driving a heavy vehicle, because that's my occupation. And it's taxing on the mind, it's taxing on my body, but I was working long hours to barely make ends meet. And I ended up with an injury, and I thought, what can I do that will mean that I don't have to freak out about working 80 hours a week to not make ends meet anymore, because that's not sustainable. So I started dabbling in a couple of different, I guess you call them systems or platforms or whatever you want to call them. And one I saw a little bit of success with, which, well, so I thought. I still haven't been paid for what I earned from that, and that was back in April. The other one, like I said, 7 days in, $2,500 or go away, basically. And I'm really glad that I went away, to be honest. And I reached out to Jesse, who, as you mentioned, he's my mentor and my guide. And I just reached out to him in sheer desperation. I'm like, dude, I'm not making this work. I'm not making ends meet. I'm struggling financially. I'm digging myself into a deeper hole that I'm trying to get out of. What the hell do I do? And he said, well, I've just started with this one system. Give it a go. And I went, all right, I'll give it one more go. And that's when he brought me into OLSP. And from day one, I found that it was a very welcoming place. Everybody is wonderful. I have a lot of trust in Wayne and in his employees and in his system, because he's got a really, really firm grasp on the best way for everyone to make money is if the person at the bottom makes money, then they spend money. If they spend money, their mentor makes money. If their mentor makes money, their mentor makes money. The best way for the person at the top of the tree to get money is to help the person at the bottom of the tree to make money. And I found that it's a very, very trustworthy system, which is, in this day and age, it's just a rarity more than anything. It's something that is legitimate. And I've had conversations with Wayne, and I'm like, how do I tell people that I'm making thousands of dollars? And he was like, easy, you don't. When was the last time you saw me driving a Lamborghini? I said, I've never seen one. He goes, and you never will. So he's all about helping people make it work, and that makes it work. And that was when I decided that here in Australia we do things differently. I know you're in the UK and you're in something with Jim in it. Tax time for you guys is the end of the year, and I was fortunate here in Australia we do our tax from 1st of July to the 30th of June. I was fortunate that the farm that I have had a pretty good tax return on it, so that was enough, only just, but enough for me to buy the VIP. And I thought, I really, really trust this system enough that I'm going to make it work. So that's when I made the decision, pulled the trigger, and joined VIP, and here we are.
Here we are. Well, I think that's a brilliant story, and it's a brilliant why. And I think anybody listening to this now, or even later on, if they just hear that in itself, you won't get a better testimony, if you like, for the program than that.
No, you won't.
And we all say the same things. I mean, I asked Leah that very similar question yesterday when she was on, and I said, "What is it about the program?" And the first thing that Leah said was the community of people, and it's when we have the likes of Dr. M and all the rest of them on here, they say the same thing. You won't hear any of us say, oh, it's the pay plan, oh, it's this, because which is what you hear in so many programs. If you say to people, what's the good about your program, they're going to hit you with either the product or the matrix compensation plan or whatever, which is not what it's about. That's not what a program's about. What you need here is a community of people. And you're so right about Wayne. I mean, I had a call with Wayne that I spoke to yours about, and he spoke about my situation, and he wanted to talk to me directly, so I took the opportunity to speak to him, and he was brilliant because he didn't know what my home situation is, because I'm a full-time carer for my wife at home, and I explained to him what my home situation was. Once he knew that and understood that, he was great. He just said, now I know exactly where you are. Now I know what your situation is. We can work together and do stuff and all the rest of it. He just wanted to know more about where I was at and all the rest of it. And you're right. And I say to people, there's so many crap programs out there. There's so much garbage out there. There's so many programs that will come along and they'll burn out within a few months. There'll be the latest buzz. There's one going at the minute. All the big guns are jumping on it. They're going to just go in there, milk their money, and then they're going to go on to the next one that comes along. And
it's just making someone else rich.
Yes, it is. And these are the only ones that are going to come along board with that and make the money, because they got the huge list, they got the huge followings. They can go in and blast their list out. They'll make X amount of money, and then they'll just move on to the next one, and they'll do it all again.
Yeah.
And the program you touched on, it's a very well-known business model. That program is particularly well-known. And what they do, they have these low-entry $7 entries. And the idea, exactly what you said, is they will fill it with as much value for that 7 values early on. So some people are thinking, you know what, hey, this is great. And that's the idea of it. They want you to have good value. They want you to think, I'm onto something great here, until they get to the end, like you're saying, they go, oh, hold on a second, you now need the blueprints or whatever they want to disguise it as, and that's going to cost
That's
you
exactly
extra.
what it was, actually.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a well-known business model, and unfortunately, the average guy just doesn't do it, and it's not it's not done. I mean, while we're talking stories, I mean, I spoke about myself a few times. I got Leah's story yesterday. You were in a program that we were both in together. We didn't have much direct contact in that program, but we saw each other regularly. We both were pretty active in there. I know you're still a part of the other program. We don't always mention other programs, but you're very active over here. Extremely active over here, very popular over here. You do a lot of. I mean, Leah had so much good words to say about you yesterday, which is a testament to yourself and how you and how you help people. But just briefly, I mean, what keeps you here? What brought you to OLSP, and what keeps you here?
The community, that you can help each other out in your teams. I want a team. I want people who thrive. I want to have a team member going hard and make more targets than me, because that gives me energy enough to do that. It's not about sales here. Totally not.
It's not. No, you're right. It's totally not. And so many people want to help each other here, and I think that's what it is. I mean, Carl, if you're still listening, I did see a message for the link. I did drop it into your inbox. I don't know if you're having trouble connecting, but you have got the link. So just drop me a comment if you're still having trouble. You could. I know he's had some trouble with his internet at home, so he could be having trouble connecting. Going back to you, Matty. I mean, your story is. I speak to a lot of people from the States and stuff like that, as I'm sure it was. We speak to people all over, and I've only been sort of really back properly in the industry for about 3 months or so, and the amount of truck drivers that I speak to that are either stopping or have had to stop through either injury or health reasons is unbelievable. I mean, one of my VRB, James, he is one of them. He exactly the same reason. He was forced to stop work. He had to stop work because of health reasons, and he was unable to drive a truck anymore. I spoke to a couple that I mentioned to Wills about, the ones that were invested in a different program, and they were both truck drivers. Both had to stop through health reasons and back problems and all the rest of it. And I don't think a lot of people realise that the toll it takes on people's bodies, especially for long distance truck and lorry drivers, etc. Because I think especially the longer you've been in it and the older the body gets, it's not as durable as it used to be when we were younger.
That's a fact. I think the biggest issue with my job, I don't drive a truck. I do drive a heavy vehicle, but I don't drive a truck. I think the biggest issue that everywhere is facing right now is understaffing. That's why I was pulling ridiculous hours, and the hours were insane. I mean, I was talking like 14 and 16 hours a day driving time. Which in a heavy vehicle, that's taxing on the mind, if not the body. Understaffing is an issue everywhere, and it's always been an issue, but lately, in the last couple of years since COVID, the big dirty C, it's really become a problem. And like Carl just said, everywhere's the same. It doesn't matter if that's in retail or in a driving job or being a postie or a bartender. Everywhere's understaffed, and you get to the point where you're looking around and everybody in your co-workers, the average age median of my co-workers would be probably 50. I'm only 40, and I look as old as most of those guys do. you know, and I feel it. And I thought, I can't do this forever. You
No.
know, why am I working for so many hours and putting my mind and my body on the line when I might. The difference between a 38-hour week and a 70-hour week in the hand for me is about $350 Australian. And you double your working time, and I get an
Yeah.
extra 300, 350 in the hand. It's not worth it, you know.
No, absolutely not. And your health is
So
more important, isn't it? I mean,
it
I
is. You
mean,
only
this is
get to live once.
that's right. I mean, Cole has been trying to connect with. I know he's got some connection issues, but I mean, he's told me a very similar because Cole's a coach driver, you know, and he does tours, and he's away from home quite a lot, and you know, he does long, very long days. He drives all over the country, and he said the same
Yeah.
thing, especially what you said about the young ones. That they're just not there, you know.
Yeah. No.
And he's been doing it. He's been doing it a long time, and he knows how taxing it is, and he's in a similar position. He wants ideally to be able to create the income where he can step away from it now.
Mm.
And you know, or he said, or at least be able to scale down from what he's doing, because he's not getting any younger by a long shot, and he's feeling it now.
Yeah.
He's been doing it over 30 odd years, like he just said, it takes a long time to recover. It's a very taxing job at any sort of hours driving like that is that you guys are doing. And I said the amount of truck drivers I speak to and similar, is you realize how common it is in this industry. And I think it's everything. I mean, on the flip side, I mean, you've got a job like what Ilse used to do, which is mentally draining. I mean, because when she's in the sort of higher, how would you describe it? It's like a high power office environment where you're a CEO, and that's that's mentally draining, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it's very mentally draining. You are waiting on a lot of people to lay down some figures or some things, and yeah, it's always against time, because it's finance I did and facility advisor, so it's a lot. It's working with teams, with individuals, with higher, with CEOs, higher management. You are higher management, and it's really draining.
And when you're at that level, they expect so much more out of you from your day, for your hours, for no extra. That's your position. You'll work as long as it takes to, and and I know it. I know people in that industry. It's a very, very mentally draining industry, and like you said, it doesn't matter if you're getting 2 or 3 times the amount of money. Money doesn't justify it. I mean, Cole said once, he doesn't. Because of the job he does, because he's touring all over the country, he averages, I think he's going to start another one tomorrow. There's going to be about another 10, 12 days away from home because he has to stay at hotels. And he said, yes, he's had some nice perks from it, but it doesn't counterbalance the time that he's lost with his family, seeing his kids grow up and things like that, And these are the things where money just doesn't cut it, does it? And a lot of these bosses and companies, they don't care. So, and I think now, especially since sort of COVID, because so many people had to sort of work from home and do the rest of it, many people, this is a boom time for this industry because so many people are wanting now a different life, a better life. They're wanting to be able to work from home. Much more so when it was just sort of a fantasy, I would say, almost. Where a few years ago, when people say, "Yeah, I want to make money," when it was smiling, it's right. That was the sort of feel you had, say, going back 5, 6 years ago. Now it's sort of changed to people want this. They want to be at home. They want that better life. Everyone's struggling with the cost of living. So many people got health reasons, and they want a better way. And I think you're a testimony for that, for the company. I think that short video could be actually put on the page because it was from the heart, and that's the difference. And the community you have here. When I speak to people, I know Ilse has a lot of conversations with people, and they say, "What have you got to offer?" And as soon as they start, well, how much does it cost, and what do I earn to? These are you don't want these people because they just they want to know You know, how much am I going to earn? How
What
much
can I get out of it?
Yeah, they're the wrong mindset people. You don't want those sort of people. You want the
Correct.
people like yourself, like the Carls, like ones that need it. And then you sort of speak to them and you say, look, you know, this program has it all. You know, there's so much garbage out there. You've got a program that you can come in that is, like you said, it's stable. You've got a wonderful owner, you know, who genuinely wants people to do well. There's no fluff. There's no bull. You know, he's so hands-on. I've never seen any program owner as hands-on as Wayne is, you know, and he loves what he does.
And you
he
won't.
You know, he wants people to do well, and it offers everything that there is to what people need. You can get residual income, passive income, if you want to go down that road, low ticket, high ticket. You know, there's so much to learn, and it's not a case of trying to pull anybody out from one program into this one. It's a case of you come on board with the OLSP program, you're going to learn the skills and you can apply them to any program that you're in, you know, and that's the difference. You've got the perfect business model. I mean, it was you spend a lot of time on DMs. I mean, your average, you tell us that most people follow a pattern in DMs, don't they? I would say for the ones that I speak to, and it's quite easy in sort of inverted commas to sort of without you don't have to sell the product, you don't have to sell the program. I mean, well, it's just in a nutshell, say the general conversation, how they tend to go, and how you sort of speak to the people. How would you say yours?
Yeah, it's what do you really want? You can work harder, you can take another job on, but do you want your own business that generates for you, or don't you? That's my concern. What do you want to give to take out? Do you want to give a lot of energy in it? You will get your energy back afterwards. Do you want to put time in it? You will get your time back later on. You will.
Yeah.
But you have to work a little bit for it. Huh?
Yes, I mean, and that you've hit the nail on the head. It's a building process, and this is why you don't want the people that fire in the quick fire questions. How much is it, and how much am I going to earn, and what? These are the wrong mindset people. These are the shiny. They're just completely in the wrong mindset.
I'm sorry, but I don't think we're on the same level.
Exactly, I do. Yeah, you want
those sort of people. They want to get rich quick scam, and that's what it is. They want something they can just click a button, and in a month's time they'll be a millionaire. They don't have to work for it. That's not what this is. This is something that's going to take dedication. It's going to take work. There's going to be days where you're just like, I don't want to effing deal with this SHT today, but I'm going to do it anyway because if I don't, it doesn't pay back. And like Il said, she nailed it when she said, how much energy are you willing to spend? How much time are you willing to spend? It's not about how much money are you willing to spend. It's literally about how bad do you want it? How much are you willing to dedicate to achieving what you want? And in time, you're going to be that 7-figure earner, and you're going to look back and go, wow, that really wasn't as hard as I thought it was going to be. But it's work, and that's what people don't want. People just want a get-rich-quick scam, and that is not what this is.
Bang on. That is bang on. They want the results. I've done a post on this. We've done lives on this. They want the results, but they're not prepared to put the time or the work or the effort in, and that is literally the bottom line. And that's when you can sift through the crap of people if you want, and find the right ones like yourself, Matty, like the Ewers and the Carls and the people that we've uncovered. These are the people that understand that it is, you're building a business at the end of the day. It's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen overnight. I mean, it's going to take a time. You're going to go through a stage, especially when you're building it from scratch, where it's going to take the momentum's got to build up. I mean, Els is always touching on this. You've got to feed the program, feed the system, and constantly put the content out. And eventually, it's going to build up into a business. And those that can't see that or aren't prepared to do that, they're just not the right people for the program, and they will forever jump around. And that's the difference. You've got to be prepared to come in, give it the time, make sure you put in the effort. If things aren't working, reach out to and
play
say,
the long game.
Absolutely, it has to be the long game. It's got to be a long game. Like if you're not getting results in, reach out to people, reach out to myself, to Wills, and say, can you help me? I've been doing this. I'm not getting any results. And then they're gonna. You go to someone like Ills as big. If I didn't know Ills and I was struggling, I'd reach out to her and say, look, I've been doing stuff, but I'm not getting any results. The first thing she's going to say, right, yeah, sure, I'll help you. What have you been doing? Let's have a look at what you've been doing, and go from there. That's exactly. I know for a fact that's what she would do, and she would do that for anybody. And that's what it's all about.
She's done that for me.
Exactly, exactly, and that's what we've done. I've done it for people that aren't connected with me. I've been spending a bit more time with Cole lately, and he's now starting to see it. His mindset is definitely changing for the better. He's doing a daily live on his Facebook. He's starting to see that his Facebook's starting to come to life. He said to me, he's now hearing from people that isn't hearing from ages. I said, this is the part of the process. He's bringing his Facebook to life. He's putting himself out there. He's starting to see now how the long-term game, his mindset's changing for the better. So it's a process. But these things take time. They take time, and it is something that will definitely happen over time. And you're going to get the lulls.
Speaking of time, unfortunately, I'm out of it. It's been a pleasure. I'm going to have to take off. Thank you for having me.
Hey, you're welcome, mate. It's been great to have you.
I started work at 4 o'clock this morning. It's 11:30 at night, so I am going to turn into a pumpkin.
Well, thanks for coming on. That testimony you did at the beginning, I think.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome, and you take care and get some sleep, my friend.
I will. Take care, guys.
Speak to you soon. How good was that? I mean, I think that we could capture that testimony at the beginning from Matty's story and say, Wayne, take this and put it on one of your pages, because when it comes from there,
give it, and I will run it to Skype to Wayne.
That says it right
there.
From
Phil for you.
Sorry.
From Phil for you.
Yeah, I think it's excellent. These are the stories that we love, the ones that just come from the heart. He's seen it. Everyone. And until people get on board and realise the help and the community and what they have in front of them,
you never forget those stories. It's always when somebody hops on now, VIP. I don't know if Matty is going to be in the mastermind this evening, but you know him, you know his story. I see somebody else. I know him. I know his story, and that stays.
It does.
That really stays.
It's great. I'm really pleased for him, and I hope that it really works out. But he's got the mindset there, and that's the difference. I mean, I know you caught my live or you watched it back. I did a live on the way back from the gym this morning. I don't always do that, but I just thought, I'm just going to pop on. And Carl actually picked up on that this morning, and he echoed it in his live that he did later on, and he said he took actually inspiration from that, because I said this morning it was one of those mornings. My first alarm goes off about 10 to 5 in the morning. I get down there for 6 when it opens. That was one of them mornings when I could have quite easily just turned it off and went back, but I thought, no, come on, got to go. I like to do before days and just push yourself to get up.
I think you're the same. You know the drive. It's already in your head. In the morning, you think, "Come on."
Yeah,
because
I know when I get down there, it's fine. I get into things down there. I know a lot of people down there because I've been going down a long time. A lot of us go at the same time. So you got the social aspects as well, which is good for your mental health, etc. And it's a good thing, but it's just getting over that. Hold on, when I've spoken to Carl, and I'm sure you've had conversations with people, I said, I don't care who the marketer is, unless they're one of these big gurus. There's no marketer out there that will tell you that you know, if they tell you they never have a dry spell, when leads never come in, and I said they're not being truthful with you. I said, because it happens to everybody. You'll get a lull where everything seems to just go quiet, and they're the times where you're thinking, it's easy to think, you know what, this ain't working, but you just got to know, believe in the system, believe in what you're doing, believe in the process, and that lull is going to come back up. You know, 100% is going to come back up, because if you're constantly putting content out there, you're putting things out there. That's why I've introduced Cole to another advertising platforms that you spoke to the other day. I said, you keep visiting that platform, you keep going in there and posting ads and putting banners up and getting your link. I said, it's eyeballs. You're going to get leads come through, and that's what it's all about at the end of the day, is getting leads coming into you on a regular basis, getting eyeballs on your program, on your system, and that's it. And then it just putting in wheels in process, doing the videos, doing the reels like you do, and it's just that it's maintaining that consistency, isn't it? And that's the key, you know, especially when things go tough, especially when things go quiet. That's when you just really got to pick yourself up and say, come on, believe the process, because it's easy to go, come on, you know. I mean, what do you say to people if someone said, I've gone through that lull? I mean, sometimes I'll say, change it up.
Pushing. It's then when you have to keep on pushing, because if it's a lull and you don't have many needs, you don't have to DM a lot, you don't have to do a lot, just push out more content.
Yeah.
You have the time. Somewhere you have time. If it isn't in that department, you have time in another department, but you have that time.
So, as you know, you've done a lot of work with a lot of people. You've been doing quite a lot of work with Leah. I've done quite a lot of work with Cole, and he's starting to see things from like the routine perspective now, which he said by his own admission he was sort of lacking before. He didn't really have a DMO, you know, and so I gave him in a message an example of one of my days, you know, and he's capitalised on it. He's now starting to follow that. You know, he realises he doesn't have to compact everything into a 2-hour slot in the morning. You can do bits and pieces as he gets them over the day, which is what we all do. You know, it's treating it like anything else you do across your every day. You know, you fit it in. You know, it becomes a routine. It becomes consistent. You know, and then, like you said, you can add to it. You know, you can start to say, right, I want to put some adverts over here. I'll get them up and running. And the more you do, the better it is. It's feeding it, as you call it. It's a great term. You know, can keep watering that machine, keep watering that plant, and it's going to come through. You know, you go vacation time, kids, school holiday times. You said you're on 8 weeks. These are quieter times. They are quieter times, but that's the time to, you know, get, like you said, push out more content.
You can batch everything. You can batch everything and schedule it so it pushes out not the TikToks but other things you do.
You're right, and when the DMs do drop off and when it is a bit quiet, it does free up sometimes. And you're right, you can say, right, okay, let me try this platform. I'm going to go and get some content on there and put that in. Maximise your time. As long as you're doing something proactive, even if it's sitting for an hour's training, that is gold dust. You know, sit for one of the hour trainings of what's in the back office or whatever. I've watched several of them more than once, you know, because you never take everything in first time, watch them again. You know, I sent one of the dominators back to the training yesterday. I said, it's in there, go watch it.
Yeah,
you know?
Go watch it. Yeah.
Go watch it. I've seen it, go watch it again. You know, you know, until it goes in, it should become second nature, shouldn't it? You know, it's what we do, you know, and we just keep going, you know. What about yourself? Give us some inspiration. I mean, you're doing
at Nia is so easy to work. She's really easy to work. I am more a coach than a seller. I'm better at selling. I give a lot of free or a lot of my time, but I have to get something back, and that's how they working, how they put their energy in it. And that gives me energy to do. But we cannot spread ourselves so thin because we're only one person.
That's right.
I cannot split myself in 4.
No, I don't think we've all made that mistake. I know I've made that mistake in the past years ago where I was spending so much time helping others all over the place that your own work almost dries up because you're constantly helping on the people. I used to use Skype a lot, and I'd literally finished one Skype call since it ended, another one would come in, and it was just getting crazy. And the wife was getting, she saw it, she said, "This is ridiculous. You're spending all your time talking to these people." Like rightly, as you say, I wasn't getting enough back. My time was being really drained. And then what happens is the results start to be affected because you're spending all your time with these other people for nothing back. And it is right. You've got to make sure it's worth your time. And you've got a great nugget in Leah there, coming on leaps and bounds, really, really good. And having her on here yesterday was really good because you could see where her mind was at. You could see how her mindset was. I think Carl's certainly getting more positive mindset. He's starting to see. He's starting to see it now. Now he's getting this. I'm helping him get a routine together. He knows now. He's getting a good picture of what he needs to do across the day. Like I introduced him to a platform that I use, which is another thing I say to him. I said, I won't just say to you, go try that. I said, I will recommend something that I've used that I know is worth putting your effort in, and I said, just, you've got to put your time in there, put your ads in there. It's going to pay off. Is it going to give you bundles of leads every day? No, it's not, but it's going to get you eyeballs, and it's going to produce some leads that come in, and then you get some leads from somewhere else and some leads from somewhere else, and then it comes together, and that's what you want, and following up and get people reaching out to you. That's what we do. It's what we do. It's the process. And you're right. I mean, Matty was bang on. People just want to come in and, how do I do this? How much are going to get paid? And how much how much do I earn for bringing somebody in? Don't want them. This is not the program for you. Go and join.
No.
Go and join the ladies.
I have a lot of. So I have 80 DMs now a day.
80.
80. About 25 are those. Hello, lovely, and da-di-da-di-da, they're gone. And about 60 are questions, but those are really those ones like, yeah, I saw, and how do you make that money? How are you? Who are you? Where'd you go? Are you seeking online those things? What do you want? How do you want to spend it? You want to buy a high ticket, or are you into time? Because I don't know. Just saying, how do you do that? Okay, yeah, I can see here's a program, here's a link, but I don't want to work with those people.
No, and you're right. I mean, when it gets to the stage where you get a lot of DMs coming in, you have to be choosy of who you have conversations with. I mean, unfortunately, we're not in the industry for small talk. We haven't got the time for it, unfortunately.
No.
I mean, I see some messages come through, and they may be a nice person. I know they're a marketer, and they're okay. Hey, so how's it going on the other day? And you think, unfortunately, that's not a high priority message for you to answer because.
I have a program that wants quantity. I just had a talk. I have a program that wants quantity. Okay, then the back office will take care of it. Okay, then we do that. But this OLSP isn't about quantity. It's about quality. We want to work with people. We want a team. We want to see if they are making it with us. And the other program just wants people in. Okay, then. Go there.
That's right, and it is the people because I mean
I
was speaking to Carl earlier, and I said, I got a few dominators that joined me early, and only one of them has dropped off. The others are still here. None of them are doing exceptionally well, but their belief is there, their mindset is right, and they know it's a process. And these are the people that you want that are still working the business because they know it's going to work. They've got the belief. 2 of them have gone VIP, as you know, and because you're going through this process of filtering these people, and then you find the right people that come across to you and say, hey, I know I need this to work. Then the once I find someone's got that need, to me that's huge. Then you've got a good person that needs it, because the needing it and I just want to make some extra money. No. They're night and day. They're night and day. As you know, when someone says no, I need, I'm they start to see a story about their work, their health, or whatever, and I need to be earning something else from somewhere. Then you can start the conversation.
It has to become your plan A, and only your plan A, not your plan B, C, D. No, your plan A.
Yeah, and then you just, and because the conversation should be about them, it shouldn't be about the program. You know, you should and then are they completely new to online? Have they tried anything before? You know, that's basically where they're at. Are they completely new? Are they looking into making something, or have they been around before, tried other programs that haven't worked? You know, which is generally what happens, and then find what they've been involved with, find what they've been trying. And unfortunately, we've covered this before as well, haven't we? That there's so many poor programs out there that simply teach you, get on board, grab your link, and post it on social media. That is basically how they are taught. You know, so then when you say to people, you've not actually been doing anything wrong, you've just been taught wrong. Being taught wrong. You know, so and when I have these conversations with people, they say, "Oh, I thought it was me." No, it's not you. You've just had bad training. You know, and that's what I say to people. I say, unfortunately, you've had poor training because these programs have told you to do that.
Yeah, if they don't show, you don't know.
Yeah, exactly. It's like anything. And they said, "Oh, well, I thought that's all you did." And I said, "Yes, unfortunately, this is what these other programs will tell you to do. They make you think it's that simple that you join a program, post it in a couple of money groups, stick it on your timeline, and hey ho, why isn't anybody joining?" And the amount of them say, "Yeah, that's exactly what's happened." And I said, "Well, unfortunately, I've got news for you. It doesn't work like that. You know, it's just, you know." And then the whole conversation changes, and you say, "Well, look, we can show you how to do it properly. It's a building process. You know," and then the conversation takes a different path, and that's what it's all about. And I'm so pleased that Matty's gone, because I did actually feel for him. Because on the last Dominator call that we were on with Wayne, when I was there 2 weeks ago, or the week before Wayne went, you know, he announced that he wasn't even a Dominator anymore because he'd had to drop down because he was struggling and all this of it. And I really felt for him because I know that Jesse had spoken so highly of him, you know, and to see he's gone from there to say, you know what, I need this, and now I'm gone VIP, I think is marvelous. It's what a turnaround. What a turnaround in the story, and a belief in the program. Excellent to hear. Yeah. Really, really good. I said I might capture that and scoot it over to Wayne, or I'll give it to you and you can zoom it over to him, because either or we'll get it. But I think it's really good, and I think it's a great testimony. I'm sure Matty wouldn't mind us.
No.
So look at that, we've been 47 minutes here. It flew by. I was going to talk about animated banners on Canva, but that was just a subject that came up. But I didn't. I was going to have you and Matty, so which is what happened.
It's just the tails should be the link from Phil Ken, and I want to hop on. Okay, yeah.
Brilliant. It's wonderful, and I have you to thank for that. You've brought many people to this live, and they wouldn't be here.
To connect.
Yeah, and they wouldn't be here without you. So I do appreciate that. You know, appreciate what you do.
It's what we do. We help our dominators. We do.
Were your ears burning yesterday? Were they burning when me and Leah were talking?
Yeah.
Must be red hot. We were talking about you. All good things though. All good things.
Oh yeah, I know.
And I think, you know, you've got such a good person there. And when she touched on the story of how she was, you know, asking questions in RPM, and she said that her upline was actually rude to her. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, I cannot help where they are put on the, and that's a shame. I love my people in RPM too.
The upline was rude to me, and nobody was helping. And then she said, and then
something happened.
You know, and I was like, this is crazy. And then she said, along came you, and
yeah, I was in RPM, and she reached out, and I was like, oh, come on, what's happening in there? That's not the way we deal it with. And she reached out, and and then I spoke to her on a Zoom. I was, how can I help you? Because I know you're passionate enough. I see posts of you that I think, that's wrong. You're the kind of affiliate marketing let me help you. And she said, yeah, but I don't want to go back because I'm under that person. And I was like, okay, then there is an option to go under me. It is. But it's another program. It's a really, really, really warm environment. Community, creme de la creme. I cannot say anything about that. It's just the way you want to work with people. It's top. I can scream it off the top of the roofs. It is. And do you want to take a look at it? And she says, yes, please. I gave her the link. Yeah, the first you go on free. You do the link. You pay for the link, and then she went from boom. One day, Dominator, and I was like, no, stop. You first ask me. And she was, no, I'm interested in you. I could give you a half a price for that. And she was, I don't mind. Yeah, and she thought,
she's great, and it just goes to show you that these good people are there, and it was,
she is good.
It was quite a story, and and testament to yourself, because you spotted her, she needed help, you reached out, and what a golden nugget someone else has lost through their poor poor handling of it.
It's a shame for them, it really is.
It's a shame for them, it really is. So well done to you. I mean, you fully deserved, because you put a lot of time and work in what you do.
I believe I put a lot of time and work in, yes.
Well, Leah said she doesn't know when you sleep. She said because sometimes you're early hours of the morning and you're speaking to her.
Well, I always say I'm a vampire, but I don't drink so.
But it's great. It's great. But that's what we do, and we enjoy what we do, and finding the right people. So there we go. Look at that. We're setting another record almost. Not the longest yet. I think if Dr. Emma be here, we might have another half an hour by now. But people like listening to him. He gives that a lot of value as well. So. So there we go. I'll let you go. You've probably got something else lined up, I'm sure.
I have a couple of DMs and talks.
There you go.
And content. I have to shoot content for the other, for RPM. So I'm very busy.
Very busy. Well, thanks your time as always. Thanks for bringing Matty on. And
it's a pleasure.
Oh, look at the talk of the devil. Look at that. I'm here, but I'm muted.
No.
Sneaky, because we were talking about him.
You're
welcome to jump on before we leave, Dr. M, because I know you've been shying away from us for at least a month now.
Don't you sleep normally? You have a mastermind to attend with me in a couple of hours.
So if you want to jump on before we go, you can let us know. Otherwise, we'll cut you loose. Let us know, Dr. M, if you want to join. Not the right day. I'm traveling. Oh, he's full of excuses. Look, he's procrastinating over our lives now. Is what he's doing.
I'm traveling tomorrow. Then I have a talk with him.
Okay.
See you later.
Okay. We'll catch him next time. He knows where to find us. But another great person, another great part of the community. Lots of really helped me out.
Yeah.
He's helped.
Leah
sang his praises yesterday. She's the first contact she had with him. Really helped her out with her get response and that. And this is what we do. This is what makes it such a good place to be. I've never known it, because I used to always get that question if I ask somebody else in another program. The first thing they say is, "Oh, who's your upline?" And
I do that too, and try to connect.
And then as soon as they hear you're you're in their team. You're not part of our team.
No, I don't do that. You had a question. I hope.
It's crazy how but I'm not saying here. I'm saying that's how these other programs operate. As soon as they find out that you're in that team and you're not their team, that's it. It's conversation over, and it's a crazy way to work. It really, really is.
Yeah.
So should we wrap it up then? As Dr. M is not joining us, he's listening. Thank you for listening in, Dr. M. I hope you're learning something from us. Getting the inspiration, doubtful, but you never know. Thanks as always. Thanks for bringing Matty on, being brilliant, and keep doing what you do. And no doubt we'll connect again real soon. Whatever you're doing, people, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next live. Have a great day, and we'll all see you later. Cheers and bye now.